Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoded, the place where we sometimes find out that even the most serious corporate announcements are just a little bit of corporate theatre. Today we are looking at an amendment to a report from Kyndryl Holdings Incorporated. This is not a routine filing, it is an amendment to a previous report filed just a few days before this one. You might be asking why the change. Well, stick around and we will break down what adjustments are being made to the compensation for two key people at Kyndryl. If you like getting straight insights from these complex corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed and check out our Discord community linked in the description. So Kyndryl Holdings Incorporated is the company we are looking at. This report is an amendment to a previous one filed on the 9th of February of 2026. The original report announced that Harsh Chu was appointed Interim Chief Financial Officer and Bhavna Dogar was appointed Interim Corporate Controller. Both of these appointments were effective on the 5th of February of 2026. Now, this new filing is not changing those appointments. What it is doing is adding some details about compensation adjustments for Mr. Chu and Ms. Dogar. The company is making these changes because of their new roles. The filing explicitly states there are no other changes to the information in the original report. So essentially, this is just about the money side of these new executive positions. Let's break down what Mr. Chu will receive. For his role as Interim Chief Financial Officer, he's getting a one-time grant of restricted stock units. These are basically company shares that he will get ownership of over time. These particular ones will vest, meaning become fully his after just 6 months from the grant date. The value of these stock units is set at $500,000 based on the stock price on the day they are granted. On top of that, he will receive an extra monthly payment of $35,000. That is a significant amount of cash going to him every month. Now let's look at Ms. Dogar, who is the Interim Corporate Controller. She recently joined Kyndryl in December of 2025. Her compensation package includes a one-time grant of restricted stock units as well. These will vest or become fully hers in 3 years from the grant date. The value of her stock units is even higher at $864,000 again, based on the stock price on the grant date. Both of these stock grants are planned to happen on the 2nd of March of 2026, which is the company's next regular day for granting such awards. So while the appointments were effective in early February, the actual stock grants will be a little later. This amendment is being signed on the 17th of February of 2026. It is important to note that the original 8K was filed just a few days before this amendment on the 9th of February 2026. The reporting of the original events was the 5th of February 2026. This whole sequence of filings suggests a rapid process around these executive appointments and their compensation structures. Now, what does this tell us? On the surface, it looks like standard executive compensation adjustments. However, the fact that they are filing an amendment so soon after the original report indicates they wanted to clarify or add these compensation details quickly. This could be due to internal policies or perhaps a desire for immediate transparency on these executive packages. For Mr. Chu and Ms. Dogar, this is a substantial increase in their potential earnings and ownership in the company, reflecting their increased responsibilities. The dollar amounts are significant and signal the importance the company places on these financial leadership roles. Looking at Kyndryl Holdings Incorporated generally, they are a large infrastructure services provider. They spun off from IBM. Companies in this sector often deal with complex contracts and large client relationships. The compensation for their top finance executives would naturally be tied to the company's overall financial health and performance. While this filing focuses solely on the compensation for these two individuals, it is part of a larger picture of how the company incentivizes its leadership to drive results. We do not see extensive financial tables in this particular amendment, just the details of these compensation adjustments. But if we could zoom out for a moment, Kyndryl, as a company, faces a competitive landscape. Managing finances effectively is crucial for profitability and growth, especially in a sector that requires heavy investment and skilled personnel. The stock grants are a way to align the executives' interests with those of the shareholders. When the stock price goes up, the executives benefit financially from their grants. This can be a powerful motivator. The question for investors and observers is whether these compensation levels are justified by the company's performance and future prospects. Without seeing the full financial statements from the original 8K or subsequent reports, it is hard to make a definitive judgment solely on this amendment. However, the large stock grants suggest an expectation of value creation. In my opinion, this amendment highlights the standard practice of using equity to attract and retain top financial talent. The amounts are substantial and reflect the market rate for such senior positions in a company of Kyndryl's size and scope. The short turnaround time from the original filing to this amendment simply emphasizes the need for clarity on these executive pay packages. It suggests that these details were essential to be included promptly. The company is clearly signaling that it is investing in its financial leadership to steer its future. The risks for the company would generally revolve around the competitive nature of the IT services market and the ability to consistently win and retain client contracts. Opportunities lie in expanding their service offerings and leveraging new technologies. So what is our takeaway? Kyndryl is adjusting compensation for its interim CFO and controller with significant stock grants and cash bonuses. This is a move to incentivize these key finance leaders. It shows the company is focused on its financial stewardship and is willing to invest in talent to achieve its goals. The long-term success will depend on their ability to execute their business strategy and navigate the dynamic e-services industry. What are your thoughts on these executive compensation packages and what they mean for Kyndryl? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community for more discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.